What's up, wrestling fans? So, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's recovered from last night's record-breaking show. Who would have thought that when Jake ended up leaving the show, that suddenly it would turn into a bonanza? So Jake has been fired. No, I'm just kidding. That was crazy last night. We set records. SummerSlam has been announced to be a 2-day event looks like it's starting in 2026. So I don't think that means that it's going to be 2 days before that. It's only going to be 2 days starting in 2026. And so the announcement of the stadium, it looks like, the announcement that it's 2 days. And so now we've got 2 days of SummerSlam. I mean, like, which, for the most part is fine with me. I guess. I don't really like 2 days event. I'm going to say I'm not really fine with me. I'm not really fine with it because I like 1 day, one event. But selfishly, again, as a person that, covers this type of stuff and lives off it, it's also kind of, I mean, I guess we don't have to think about it for a couple of years. It doesn't matter anyway. But I guess whatever. I guess it's fine. It's these events have turned into more than. I just think it devalues a little bit, like the feeling of the show and the memory of the show. I mean, maybe it doesn't for other people, and maybe it's because I'm older now and I don't have that short-term memory as much as other people. But, like, when it's a 2-day event, for me, it just makes it even harder to recall it or to remember, what exactly happened, because sometimes I'll be thinking, like, oh, didn't this happen a couple of years ago at WrestleMania or whatever? And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. Was that a couple years ago, or was that the year before at night 2? Or was that last year at night 1 or night 2? What? And it all just kind of, I don't know, it kind of blends together. But I guess if you look at it as a continuation, like night 1, night 2, it's really just all one thing. And they're a continuation of each other, so you really still lump them together. So you really shouldn't have trouble remembering them. But I don't know, I do. And I don't know. That's just how I feel about that. But leave it in the comments down below with what you think about 2 nights as far as shows goes. I got more, though, real quick. Funny, I just saw an article about Ivar training everybody. And they're acting surprised, like, oh my God, Ivar, trained Mercedes Moné. He trained Kofi Kingston. I mean, I've been talking about that for years. They're almost treating it like he's lying. He's not lying. The guy worked at Killer Kowalski's wrestling school. Chaotic Wrestling, I mean, New England Wrestling Academy, whatever it's called now. The guy has trained so many people. Dijak, I mean, the list is unbelievable. He trained me a little bit. Ivar is, my God, like the guy had been training wrestlers who have been showing up in WWE for 15 years or 10 years or something like that, and then got signed literally like when you're at the point in your career of thinking like, I'll never go to WWE. I'll never go to these places. I'm just a guy who trains people, I guess, and you're turning 40 and all these things, and all of a sudden you're in the company. It's like a dream come true for the guy. So yeah, I don't know why people are questioning that. I mean, I literally watched the guy train Kofi and Sasha Banks. So I don't know. Anyway, I gotta go pick up some paperwork. I'm really curious how the everything's gonna work out when WWE goes to Netflix. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know why, but I'm being very positive about it. I'm being very optimistic about it. That I feel like there's gonna be all these people that check it out that have never seen it before, and I think there's gonna be maybe kids. That's the other thing. There's been a real trouble with getting new fans and kids and people like that. Just everybody all around, but mostly growing the new audience, right? Like the audience keeps getting older and older, which that's happening on my channel too. And that's not just a reflection of me, and it is, but it's also a reflection of the content that I'm talking about. Everything's getting older and older and older and older. We need to grow new. We need another Cena. Not that I want that, because I don't want them to go PG again. I want them to go darker and crazier and more vulgar and things. But at the same time, the reality is they do need to grow like a younger fan base. And I'm trying to figure out how they could do that. And I'm wondering if since they're going to Netflix also has like age restrictions and age settings and stuff like that. And YouTube has YouTube Kids. So I think WWE should work on a new program or bringing back superstars, but putting in superstars or like putting some new show that's like kid friendly or kid focused on all of those. Like, and it's like, Superstars right now is just an extra show with stuff. But like if they really produced a real show that could be eye-grabbing to kids and kid-focused, and they put it on Netflix so that the age, so all the kids that have the age restrictions could still see it. It would be rated for them, so they would pop up under kids and Disney, and it would be rated like G, and then they could maybe even produce that show for, and put that show on other places. They could put it on maybe even put it on YouTube Kids or something. I don't know, just some way to work on that audience. We had Saturday morning cartoons. We all had Saturday morning cartoons. What do kids have now? I don't know. They find things through like memes and YouTube videos and shorts, and maybe parents are strict and they have control of the kid, and the kid is only allowed to watch certain things on like cable or something, but it's very few and far between. So the WWE has to find a way to grow an audience and catch eyes on their product. And I think Logan Paul and things like that have helped quite a bit. Like I Show Speed and some of that stuff is working really well for the younger audiences and people. But I just think they need to find a way of reaching those 5-year-olds to 12-year-olds. Besides their I Show Speeds and Paul Brothers and celebrities like that. I think that's great, but I think they need a show that's focused, that can catch people. And I don't think it's necessarily and maybe they might even need to launch a new YouTube channel that's focused around highlights or memes and craziness and stuff like that, and just promote. And we don't even have to know if it's them. Anyway, I'm rambling like crazy. What do you think about everything I've said? Leave in the comments down below. And again, thank you so much for last night. Shout out to Sith Negan, and of course the man who dominated last night and was the top dog, over $3,000. Z Payne. I'm gonna have a new dono coming up, focused. It's gonna be a brand new donation in celebration of Z Payne, and we're going to have that. And plus everybody else who was on last night who did everything they did. Thank you so much for that. Leave me comments, leave whatever you want, and I will catch you guys next time.